Right, this is a review of the Nulea, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, trackball, wireless trackball. I have to say, really impressed. So I am traditionally a mouse user. I do regularly use touchpads on laptops. I'm currently, due to renovations in our office, heavy renovations, I'm on a temporary desk and I've got very limited space. And as you can see, I can fit a mouse here. I have to say, using this as it's made total sense in the confined space. And I can certainly see why people, I'm very fortunate, I don't have wrist issues. I haven't suffered from RSI or anything like that, but I can certainly see that for ergonomic reasons, I can see all the advantages of having one of these. So what you get in the pack, you get obviously you get the trackball device itself. Apologies for the fingerprint mess. I have been using it aggressively for the last 10 or so days. You get this little. I've kept the protective cover on the bottom. It is underneath. There is a very, very grippy, but you can see even with that, it doesn't slide around when I'm using it. Rubbery base. This has got sort of like a gel on the other side under this kind of like fake leather surface. It's very nice. Doesn't get hot. Doesn't get sweaty and clammy. Keeps your wrist cool and certainly keeps your wrist comfortable. I have found, just FYI, that I've needed to, you can't see what I'm doing here, but lift my elbow. I've had to raise my chair arm up a little bit to compensate for the change in height to be comfortable. But I'm a software engineer. I've been driving this now, as I say, daily through weekdays for the last 10 or so days, and I have experienced no discomfort once I adjusted that height on my armrest appropriately. It's been really an absolute pleasure to use. You get here, so it is non-serviceable batteries. They're built in. I assume they're lithium-ion, as everything is these days. You get on the underside of the trackball, you get a USB-A dongle for if you want to plug that into a desktop PC or a laptop dock or a laptop. If you haven't got Bluetooth available, that's a nice little addition, and it tucks away neatly underneath so you don't ever lose it. You have an on-off switch. I have not switched this off once. I haven't even charged this, so I'm using it off, which is probably not recommendable, but I've been using it with the charge that it came with, that it shipped with, in 10 days of whatever that is, 8 days of 8+ hours a day use. I haven't had to recharge it once yet, so the battery life on this I'm certain is absolutely brilliant. And you've got a USB-C classic charging port on the top when it eventually gets to the point that you need to recharge it. Trackball is removable. I can confirm it just pops out. It's got a snug fit. There's no wheels inside. It's 3 little contact points that are some sort of like guessing there's some sort of nylon maybe or something. So you get this very reliable, smooth action. But if dirt did get it in there and begin to build up, it is user serviceable. You can pop that out, clean it, and there's just an optical sensor in there, like on a mouse, which is detecting the movement. Other features: you've got 4 buttons. So you have, if you are like me and you're a right-handed user and you have it on your right-hand side, it does by default. You've got left click, right click, and middle click. And you can see, okay, I'm 6'2", so my hands are possibly bigger than the average person's, but it is extremely comfortable, and I took to it like a duck to water. I'm not one of those people that's highly fussy about having a mechanical keyboard and having the best of the best mouse and everything else. I enjoy a mechanical keyboard. I enjoy having a good mouse. I took to this like water. It's no complaints whatsoever. And so the left click falls naturally under my thumb. Right click under my right pinky. Middle click, if you want to close browser tabs and things, is about all I use middle clicking for. Is accessible just up there. And to be honest, I never use that top left button. Just isn't where my hand naturally falls. Left wheel does vertical scrolling, so up and down. So as you're browsing through a document, you're doing this to browse through a document. This one, left and right, horizontal scrolling as a software engineer, quite useful. Sometimes when doing block selection and things like that. And then on the side, you have got some nice functionality. So there's a little display here, which doesn't light up unless you're interacting with things. So if I press that first button, you will see, there we go. Is that showing up on the camera? It's focusing on my finger, isn't it? There you go, Bluetooth 2. So it has 2 Bluetooth. It can be paired with 2 Bluetooth devices, so you could pair this with an iPad or a laptop and a desktop, and you can just with that single button press, you can switch between them. That's the USB dongle, so you can have, if you wanted, you can have a total of 3 devices that this is paired up with. Bluetooth 1, which is the laptop that I'm using, and you just press that to scroll through them and find the device that you're looking for. Middle button click is an interesting one. Nothing lights up when you press that. It switches the device between left and right-handed mode, which I thought was very novel. Why not have a physical switch on the bottom? It's not something you're going to be changing regularly, but then it did occur to me, of course, you might be, and my dad is left-handed, and he does prefer having the mouse on the left-hand side. So, yeah, if you're sharing a PC or a Mac with somebody, I've checked this works with Windows 11, it works with Mac flawlessly. Best Bluetooth adoption I've come across yet, by the way. I've had some frustration with Bluetooth adoption. Windows 11 just powered this up, held it near the laptop, and actually Windows just popped up and said, there's a mouse in the vicinity, do you want to pair with it? And that all just worked. But back to left-handed and right-handed. Yeah, if you're sharing this with somebody who's left-handed and you're right-handed or vice versa, it's quite nice to have that option to just click and switch. And now I don't know which mode I am in. Let's have a look. Yeah, so that's back to right-handed mode. So in right-handed mode, left click, right click, middle, left click, and vertical, horizontal scrolling. You press that and it mirrors down the center. So this becomes left click, middle click, right click, middle click, left click, left click, left click. And that's on the other side, if that makes sense. Vertical and horizontal scrolling. So it literally just swaps it for somebody that's left-handed. And the third button you have, and it does light up, and it shows you, so there's 2 little flashes, 3 little flashes, 4 little flashes, 1 flash. That changes I think they call it the resolution, the speed, the sensitivity of the trackball. So it goes from the lowest, which is where I've got it at. I need very high accuracy, typically when trying to select individual characters in code and so on and so forth, to a extremely light, you just barely move it and you've flown across several screens, which is a lovely feature to have at your fingertips. You can of course change it in Windows, Mac OS, etc. As well, should you need to. And I think, unless I'm forgetting anything, I think that's about all there is to be said. Battery life, absolutely superb. Cannot fault it. USB-C charging, very convenient. Came with a USB-C A to C cable to charge it. Came with a lovely little wrist pad. Yeah, it just does what you'd expect it to do. Do I recommend it? Yes. Obviously, if you're a gamer, you probably wouldn't want this as your primary input device. You probably want a joystick or a remote, or a mouse. Depending on the kind of gaming that you're doing. But for desktop use, and the fact that it's wireless means that you can just put it out the way. If you're using a MacBook or a laptop. Sorry, we have a MacBook, that's why I keep saying Mac. On your lap, on the sofa. It's not heavy, but it's sturdy enough that it'll sit next to you. You could just put it on the sofa and use it if you're not a big keen fan of touchpads. Yeah, definitely highly recommendable.
Bueno, este es un ratón que tiene la característica principal que el trackball está, digamos, en la parte superior y en lugar de arrastrarlo como se arrastra normalmente a los ratones, se maneja el trackball directamente con la mano. La idea podría parecer interesante. El problema es que al menos yo no he sido capaz de adaptarme a este ratón después de haber intentado usarlo durante aproximadamente 2 semanas. Para empezar, los punteros que parecería lógico que estuviesen en la parte superior, resulta que el botón primario y el botón secundario están aquí abajo, con lo cual es que realmente cuesta muchísimo adaptarse la forma, es decir, ergonómicamente a mí no me parece para nada interesante la posición. El botón este es el botón central y este es el botón de hacia atrás. Claro, se usan mucho menos, los que más se usan obviamente es el clic primario y el clic secundario y están aquí detrás realmente bastante poco cómodos. Interesante que tiene aquí 2 botones de scroll. Bueno, también, claro, si estamos con una mano intentando... Bueno, sí, pero ¿cómo llegas al segundo? Con el índice. Es decir, si tienes la mano naturalmente así, intentando conectar el scroll el trackball, al scroll llegas con el meñique. Realmente es muy poco práctico. Es interesante el reposamuñecas. Luego aquí, pues la ventaja sí que es interesante es que se puede conectar por varias maneras. Se puede conectar por... está un poco bajo de batería. Pero bueno, se puede conectar por Bluetooth, se puede conectar por Bluetooth o 2 canales de Bluetooth o por radiofrecuencia, y para eso lleva pues su microadaptador que suelen llevar la mayoría de estos ratones. Luego tiene también, se puede seleccionar diferentes resoluciones. Yo lo he probado también con diferentes resoluciones y la verdad es que con la bola del trackball cuesta muchísimo además controlar bien el ratón. Es decir, el trackball es grande, pesa mucho y lleva bastante inercia, con lo cual cuesta realmente ser preciso con el trackball y con aplicaciones normales. Es que no entiendo la ventaja de un ratón así. Económicamente, ya digo que tampoco me parece atractivo. La mejor ventaja sería que fuese muy maniobrable con esta rueda, pero ya digo que cuesta mucho ser preciso. La otra ventaja es que, claro, no hay que desplazarlo. Es decir, que teóricamente si tú tienes poco espacio, tú sabes que tu ratón va a ocupar este espacio, de manera que tienes el espacio determinado. Pero realmente es que si nos fijamos con el ratón que normalmente uso yo, que es este de aquí, hombre, la diferencia de tamaño es considerable. Es decir, normalmente el ratón vas a usar una superficie para moverlo muy parecida a la superficie que directamente utiliza el trackball. Y ya ni cuento si se va a utilizar un ratón, por ejemplo, para portátil. Veamos la diferencia de tamaños entre el ratón para portátil, el ratón normal y el trackball, que es que ocupa, pues vamos a ver fácilmente de longitud. Sin contar el reposamuñecas, pues son unos 15 centímetros por 12. Si contamos el reposamuñecas, la longitud se alarga a 23 centímetros. Es decir, ocupa muchísimo espacio. En resumen, yo es un producto que no puedo recomendar. No diré que es un mal producto. O sea, no le puedo poner una estrella porque el producto funciona. No le puedo poner 2 estrellas porque el producto no es malo. Pero sí que me parece poco práctico y al menos para mí, ya repito, yo no he sido capaz de adaptarme a él. Le pondré 3 estrellas porque el producto funciona y a alguien le puede ir bien. Pero vamos, habría que asegurarse mucho antes de pedir un ratón así de que realmente a uno le puede servir. No le puedo poner más puntuación.
Okay, so this is a trackball, comes nicely boxed. It gives a good first impression. Nice shiny trackball. It's got a clever design. That scroll up and down. That scroll left and right. That's middle button, drag and hold, left and right. Then it has DPI adjust or Bluetooth 1 and 2, and it also has a dongle in the bottom you can use if you don't have native Bluetooth. You've got 3 ways you can connect, and you can switch between devices as well by pushing those. It's got the indicators on the side. It rolls really nicely. It's very tactile. The wrist pad's particularly good. It's heavy. As you can see, it's got a good heft to it, and it's nice to rest your hand on. It's big, but it is really nice to use. And I like the clever design with the 2 sets of scroll wheels, clear English instructions, which makes a difference. Overall, I think it's good value and a really nice item.
Ugye van egy győzelem, van egy vereség, és létezik egy harmadik eredmény is, a döntetlen.
He was on this side that a draw is better than a loss. If you lose against an opponent with the same rating, you lose rating points. If you draw, you don't lose them. There were games where previously I would make a different decision. I would be fighting and I want to win. And at that point already I said, okay, if I don't have ideas that I think can work, the draw is also an accepted result.
Továbbra is felelés az, hogy a világ egyik legjobb támadó játékosan megmarad, de elkezdett kevesebbet veszíteni, elkezdett